Hey everyone, welcome to the Week 4 roster update. I can't believe NFL season's already a quarter way through. This thing always goes way too fast, but we're here to enjoy it. This is the Week 4 update show, as I said. So we're going to go through risers and fallers from the week. We're going to start with the risers, starting with the Bills, a guy that has been all over the award shows for the week, and that is going to be Zach Brown. Middle linebacker. And this is a guy who's been in the league for a while, and he's always had that freaky athleticism, but he definitely seems to be putting it together out in Buffalo. I think he had like 15 tackles or something crazy, forced fumble. So he goes from 74 to a 79. And then we're going to move on to Cleveland and Isaiah Crowell. Actually kind of another similar story to Zach Brown, a guy that was a top recruit, and is just now putting it together after a few years in the league. Really impressed with what I'm seeing from Isaiah Crowell. Just a ton of burst. Actually pretty good vision. Just looks really comfortable as a runner. So he goes from 78 to an 83. And then the next riser is more of a spotlight guy than a huge riser. But this is a guy I had on my preseason watch list who's getting a lot of playing time with some injuries ahead of him. Cameron Meredith. I honestly don't know a ton about him. I haven't looked into his backstory, but really good size, 6'3", 200, and moves really well and has shown some pretty good hands so far. So he's up to a 73, was a 69 before. Next is Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan is looking better than he ever has. He looks like he's got his confidence back. He really was struggling in the red zone, threw a bunch of picks, but something seems to have clicked, and he's moving around in the pocket. He's not missing throws. He looks great. So from 82 to 86 for Matt Ryan. Actually climbs into the top 10 quarterbacks on this roster. The next guy is a total no-name. The DN for the Rams, and it's Matt Longgrace. He just kind of popped off the screen. I had to just ask who this guy is, but from 63 to a 71, made some plays. Definitely going to keep an eye on him going forward. And then Jimmy Graham, another huge riser. I had him as my star of the week for the Seahawks. I've talked about in previous shows, I wasn't sure he was going to come back from that serious tendon injury that he had, but he looks great. So from 82 to an 88, biggest riser from the week. Jimmy Graham looks back. And then the last riser, I have a lot of risers this week, is Xavier Rhodes for the Vikings. He had a huge week last week, shutting down Benjamin. And, I'm not very high on Kelvin Benjamin, so I wasn't quite as impressed with his last week's performance as I was this week. Did a great job on Odell, probably the best game of his career. So Xavier Rhodes, a huge jump from 75 to an 82. And then some fallers here. It's going to be Jason Pierre-Paul. I've been kind of waiting to drop him for a while. He just does not look comfortable. DN for the Giants. Obviously, for those that are familiar, he blew off one of his fingers in a fireworks accident, and he just does not look like the same guy. He drops from an 84 to an 80. Another guy that dropped just a little bit is Matthew Stafford, who I raised a couple weeks ago, but he's really struggling. I've talked about my criticisms of Stafford in the past, and he seems to be back, digressing from his recent growth. And then the last guy is my dud of the week on the lines as well. Larry Warford. This guy was just giving up sacks and not helping in the run game. And anytime you notice an interior lineman struggling that hard, it's not a good thing. So he goes from 74 to a 70. So that's it. That's the risers and fallers. Definitely subscribe if you like these channels. Check out, if you like these shows, and check out my Twitter at TFG_football. I tweet out live, film looks, and also when I'm doing Twitch streams and when the roster gets done. So check that out, and Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.